that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Yeah, runner at third, one out, Meadows up. I think it's a 1-1. 0-2 count. He's 1 for 1 in the game. He's already had a hit. He needs to get this run in at third. It's a scoreless game, and Scooble's pitching great, but then again, so is Boyd. All right, we're talking NFL. How about London calling? The Vikings got it done again. They just keep winning.
They just keep on winning, that's for sure, as the Vikings get it done in London against the Jets on early Sunday morning for us, Scotty. They are now 5-0. On the season. 23-17 was the final. Not a good performance from Aaron Rodgers, that's for sure. 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 in the first half from Van Ginkel. Instead of that, though, I want to go straight to Rodgers, Scotty. And here he is afterwards, basically saying, I don't think my performance is very good. Well, you got that right.
Oh, I mean, they all hurt. Just got to be, honest with your performance every single week. And hold yourself to a standard. Obviously, that was below my standard. I just found out I've never thrown 2 picks in the first quarter before. So that's a first. One of us cost, obviously, 7. And the other, could have cost 3. So in a game where you lose by 6, plays like that are exponentially highlighted. So 3 turnovers for me is definitely out of character, and I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and he said, I heard him say that there's a lot of people against the Jets. So keep thinking that. Keep telling yourself that no one cares if they're failing. The expectations were through the roof. Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl. That's all I heard.
What is he talking about? All we heard and had shoved down our throat for 3 months before the season started was that this was different. This is different. He's healthy. This is different. They're a quarterback away. They're going to win the AFC East. They're a Super Bowl contender. They have the same amount of points. I saw this stat today, Scotty. They have the same amount of points through 5 games this season. The exact same amount as 5 games last year with Zach Wilson. The same amount of points through the first 5 games of the season. I thought crazy. He was the difference maker. Quarterback away. I guess not. I guess it's not. Maybe the 40-year-old quarterback coming off a season-ending injury as great as he's been in his career, maybe he's not what he once was. Maybe not. I mean, it's possible. Maybe he's not.
It's pretty clear that he isn't.
No, indeed. They will now go home next Monday night. The Bills will be at MetLife against the Jets to take them on. And what will be a big matchup for Buffalo as well, Scotty, considering how they yacked away the game in Houston yesterday. Now, look, they started really poor. They were down 20-3 early in the third quarter, and then they come fighting back. Cook had the touchdown run. Coleman caught the 49-yard touchdown pass as well. Bills then got it even after a Stroud turnover. But the Bills were inside the 5 with under 30 seconds to go. Texans had all 3 timeouts. But for some reason, the Bills threw the ball 3 times down the field. All incomplete passes. Didn't make the Texans use any of their timeouts. They got the ball, didn't have to go very far. They get a 59-yard field goal by Fairburn to win it 23-20. Here's this Joker McDermott afterwards, once again, saying that it's his fault for what happened, but he's never really going to change anything.
Tough game. I thought our guys did a great job coming back. Coaches made good adjustments. Just not enough in the end, and that's on me. The end of game situation on offense. We needed to. We're in a tough situation. 3 timeouts. They were holding 3 timeouts. I got a good field goal kicker. We needed to run the clock and move the chains, and that's on me. We didn't do that there, and that's my fault.
Yeah. Well,
and it's just that simple. You didn't.
He's got a problem at the end of these games. Now, listen, I don't think nothing will ever top the 13 seconds. He completely butchered that to get play, and that was a playoff game, obviously a lot different. But he has made some bad moves in late game situations that have cost the Bill in the past. And here's one more thing for you, Scotty, with the Bills. I know that they did this everybody eats thing the first couple weeks when they weren't playing great teams, and it seemed like it was working. You watched that game yesterday. Their wide receiver production was a disgrace. They've got these guys, Mac Hollins, Coleman's still a rookie. I mean, they signed this Curtis Samuel to all this money. He gets like 1 touch a game. If there's ever a team, and I know that needs a big-time receiver, it's this team. And they wanted Diggs out. I get it. They never replaced him. And this mishmash, it don't work against the good teams. They need someone who can actually get the ball and catch it.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think they look naked without Shakir.
That too. That obviously did not help their causes either. Washington, you talked to JP about this earlier, 34-13. They smashed the Browns. The Browns stink. Washington, very good. That showed me. I said to you Friday, prove it to me as a favorite at home, and they certainly did that. So nice job by Jaden Daniels and the crew there, Scotty. Next, let's go to the Giants. We haven't talked about them. They go to Seattle. No Neighbors, no Singletary, and they beat the Seahawks 29-20. The key play in this game, Seahawks are lining up for a field goal that would tie the game at 23 late in the fourth quarter. It's the Giants' special teams coming through, Scotty, on CBS.
This to tie the game at 23, and it's blocked! Isaiah Simmons, and picked up by Bryce Ford Wheaton, and he is going to go! The Giants sideline erupts! Unbelievable!
Boy, Dable needed that.
He certainly did. He needed it badly, that's for sure. Giants go out to Seattle, get themselves a win, get them to 2-3. The Jags beat the Colts. They get their first win of the season. Man, they tried giving that up too. They tried their hardest.
Oh my God!
To give the
I
Colts
thought Flacco was great. Flacco was great. He's better than Richardson.
It's almost like, isn't it kind of the same thing as like Cleveland last year with him? They have this offense that's built around their quarterback. Last year, Watson. This year, Richardson. But for some reason, when the main guy goes out, Flacco comes in, they do something completely different and just let him chuck. and he just puts tons of points on the board. Like, it makes no sense, but
I thought
he's been
his
awesome
passes
when he goes in.
to Pierce were unbelievable. That guy had 3 of the best catches I've seen in the NFL this year. Flacco has been phenomenal in Cleveland, and already in 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal with the Colts.
He certainly has. So the Jags now, of course, will go and take their 2-week trip to London. Lawrence got into it with Gabe Davis on the sidelines. They had to be separated. They got even though they won yesterday, they got all kinds of problems as they head to London for a couple of weeks to play the Bears and the Patriots, I believe, is who they're going to have out there. Speaking of the Patriots, they lose again. Dolphins beat the Pats 15-10. We thought the game would be ugly. And it was. Well under the 35. That was a tough watch. I don't know if that flashed to you a few times on the red zone or something, but that was an ugly game in Foxborough.
It was, but they won, and it stayed under, and that's all we bet was the under.
That's all that we wanted. Achane left that game for the Dolphins with a concussion. Also, you talk about having a bad weekend. Jabril Peppers was inactive for the Patriots yesterday, and this morning we found out why. He got arrested on Saturday. He's facing assault and battery, strangulation, drug charges. He had cocaine. He was arrested. He is in big trouble, Scotty. Those are all no-nos, especially up there in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I'm just hoping that when they make the movie, that when the guy tried to steal his blow, that was when he started strangling him. I mean, that is just fantastic. Like, hopefully it was in the front yard, too, so the neighbors could see it. I mean, your boy's having a bad day. Coke and strangulation, assault and battery. I mean, he's finished. They're not going to let this guy play for a while. No doubt.
Finished.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the one. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
This guy Boyd's just mowing down Tigers, and Scooble's doing the same thing. Still a scoreless game, and yet the Guardians have a guy up in the pen like they're gonna pull him from the game. Meanwhile, the guy's like getting every single guy out. Like, who stops that until you have to?
Well, this is unfortunately, this is the new day and age in baseball that we have now. So
5
the
innings.
analytics and the charts and graphs say it's not even so much 5 innings. It's they don't want these starters to face the lineup the third time. Like, they don't want them going through the lineup for a third time. Like, they feel like the averages go up, the velocity goes down. There's so many things a third time through a lineup. We saw it last week in Milwaukee. Now, this is not why Milwaukee lost to the Mets, but that kid, who was that? Tobias Myers, that was blowing him down in that third game. Remember, he had, 6 shutout innings, and they were like, he had like 62 pitches. They were like, all right, see you later. We're taking him out. Because they didn't want him to go through the lineup.
Got nailed at second. Oh, God.
You can't have this. Like, how do you get thrown out at second here? I'm watching this now. What a throw by this guy, Noel. Are you kidding me? I mean
honestly.
I'll say this. That was a hell of a throw by that guy. I mean, I don't know if I can even blame Malloy on the Tigers. That was an absolute frozen rope from the deep corner by Janeski Noel out there in right field. Wow. All right, well, there you go. 2 down now.
He was
out. But that's why, Scotty, they don't want these guys throwing the third time through the lineup. For reasons like that, double down the line should have been a double if not for the great play in the field. All right, a few more.
They pulled him.
Yeah, they're taking him out. So the Guardians will go to the pen. And Boyd, if you look at what he's done for the Cleveland in the second half, it's really been between 4 and 6 innings. He doesn't go any deeper than that in these games, and they got what they needed out of him tonight. All right, a few more of these NFL games. Cardinals beat the 49ers 24-23. Second time this season that the Niners have blown a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to a divisional opponent, this time at home.
Shame.
What a shame. Here's Kyle Shanahan afterwards talking about it.
This is the second game where you've had a 10-point lead and lost it to both division rivals. What's the frustration level in that room? What's your frustration level in not being able to finish out these games?
Extremely frustrated. I think we had 13 points and 17 in the other. By no means should we be able to give that away. Always will come back to turnovers, in my opinion. There's other things you can do to overcome them. Talked about last night how we thought a key in this game would be turnovers, and that's exactly what the first half was. Gave us a huge advantage, and then it flipped in the second half, and when you do that, it's tough to win.
That was my favorite. Remember, I told you on Friday, all I want to see is Arizona go in there and beat them outright at Levi's, pull it off, and they win 24-23. That was great. I'll tell you another one. I know you're going to do the Rams. They're cooked. They're 1-4. They're cooked. They look awful. Their injuries have caught up to them.
They certainly have. Packers go in and they do get the win, 24-19. Couple of touchdown catches for Tucker Kraft. Rams tried to rally late, but they just were not able to pull that off. So as we like to say, you lose. No good for them. The Bears beat the Panthers 36-10. I did have DJ Moore on the card, Scotty, on Friday for the Sunday touchdowns, and he had not one but 2 against his former team in Carolina, he is starting to develop a little bit of a rapport with Caleb Williams now. Here's the first one on Fox.
Second down and 6. Williams play fake. Now throws wide open. It's DJ Moore, the former Carolina Panther, is in for a Bears touchdown. 34 yards. Williams to Moore.
Yeah, they look good. I'll give you that. And Caleb Williams looked good, and their defense is good. So not only that, you told me they're playing the Jags this week. They'll beat them.
Yeah, in London. And they're actually doing something. All these teams now kind of treat it like a West Coast thing. They go out like the day before, 2 days before. The Bears are not doing that. They're leaving tomorrow. They're going out for spending the whole week in London, practicing there. They're going to get acclimated, do the whole deal. So Bears and the Jaguars, our second London game coming up this week. And the Bears off a couple of good wins, and Caleb Williams playing well going out there. And finally, the Broncos now 3-2 as well, Scotty. They beat the Raiders. We know what kind of week it's been for Vegas, 34-18. Quarterback play for the Raiders, let's just say, has been a little bit of a problem this year. Gardner Minshew trying to lead them to a score early in the game, and actually they had a lead at this time. Patrick Surtain to the house from the goal line for a Hyundai on Fox.
In motion. Play action. Minshew looking. Throws intercepted by Surtain. Pat Surtain on the run. Nobody's going to catch him. Surtain going all the way for a Denver touchdown.
A hundo hizzy.
By the way, Bowers did finally score, too, for the Raiders yesterday. I know that they suck, but at least Bowers did finally get in there for us, and the Broncos win. I saw Pierce say this afternoon that they're going to talk about, again, he does this every Monday, we're going to talk about the quarterback. They might go to O'Connell. They both suck. Let's just get down to brass tacks.
He sucks,
He
too.
stinks.
They suck. If the Steelers don't beat them, then you know that the Steelers suck. That they're finished.
That game's in Vegas.
Game in Vegas.
That game's in Vegas. They're going. Yeah, they got beat. The Raiders are miserable right now. They have to absolutely go there and take care of business with that. Top five, like you said, Smith is on now for Cleveland, and sometimes this is good. You know, you take a guy out that's rolling. I'm sure the Tigers like this little change of pace. The soft tossing lefty out, the hard throwing righty in. We'll see if Vierling and the crew can get things going for the Tigers. Scooble's dominating top five, scoreless in Cleveland. We'll come back. Monday Night Football, Saints and the Chiefs in Kansas City. I'll give you the numbers, the touchdowns, everything for that game to get us cooking.
Sweet, you're going to give us tutties, too, on top of it. The Guardians got out of it. Tigers go down swinging again.
Wow, unbelievable.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the one. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
So, bottom five, Scooble still pitching on the mound for the Tigers in a scoreless game 2 of the divisional series. And now you see I think that's a foul ball down the line. So close, a shot down the line, foul. So we got Monday Night Pain Day in Kansas City at Arrowhead.
And by the way, I know it's only the 5th inning, but I will say nobody has reached base against Skubal in this game. He is perfect through the first 4 innings as he pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. So that's how good he has been so far in this one. All right,
would they let him go? Because there were people that bet on a no hitter, and people, do you think they'd let him go if he gets close?
Honestly, no. They are not going to blow his arm out so that he throws a no hitter or a perfect. As great as the accomplishment would be, he'd have to anything over like $110, $115. There's just no shot. So if he's going to accomplish that today, and he's still a very long way from doing that.
He's
by the way,
mowing guys down. Like literally, he could throw a no hitter. He's mowing. He just struck another one out. It's embarrassing.
He has no hit stuff. That's his 8th strikeout, I believe, that he just had of Thomas. So anything is possible here today.
But they're not winning.
And the Chiefs.
They're not winning.
That's not winning. They need runs.
Great, and they're not winning. They cannot waste this.
Need runs. Can't waste it. Need runs. Saints and the Chiefs will finish off week number 5 tonight in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Of course, we know the Chiefs' problems. Actually, I mean, honestly, they're 4-0, and I'm talking about what problems they have. I know Rice is out now. They got nobody. Who cares? Honestly, they just find someone else. They go get a ball boy or somebody else, and they just come and catch a ton of passes. Chiefs -5. Saints +5. Of course, 43.5 is the total here. I know Gabe was throwing this to you earlier, and you mentioned it as well. Underdogs of 5 or more points this season. 19-5-1, the official total I got at 79% for the dogs of 5 or more so far.
I heard 20 today, but I'm fine with 19. What's the difference?
It's 79% either way, and the dogs have been barking, Scotty. Do they bark again tonight for the Saints out at Arrowhead?
Yes, I prayed for that. I literally light candles at church for that. I'm so sick of them. I just want to see them have some form of failure, some taste of loss, some, even I told you I was celebrating Pacheco going down, Rice going down. Give me anything that I can chew on negative about them. I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm entitled to that. I don't like to watch one team go to every single Super Bowl every year for years on end. We saw it with the Patriots. We're seeing it with the Chiefs, and I think it's stale as hell. I mean, not for their fans, obviously, but who cares about them anyway? Honestly, I'm sick and tired of it. I know you are too. You're sick and tired of it, right? Am I tripping?
I don't need it.
Oh, there's a gap shot. The first base runner, a gap shot. Naylor.
So I did it. I ruined Skubal's day. I brought it up. And I did it for Naylor. Naylor gets it done, I guess, so in the gap.
He only produces on Tuesdays.
That's right. He only homers on Tuesday. Thankfully, they're off tomorrow, right? So he's not going to be able to do that for them. I'm with you on the Saints tonight. I think that they will cover. Will they win? Probably not, because the Chiefs always win, unfortunately. Here's where I am going to go tonight, though, and that is with the Tutties. There's no way this guy's going to be shut out all year long. I just got a feeling prime time, Monday Night Football, they're going to have to get Kelsey involved more, especially with Rice now gone as well. Plus 750 first touchdown for Travis Kelsey tonight. Rashid Shaheed, he's been the touchdown man for the Saints so far this year, and that's why it makes it a little surprising for me, Scotty. Now, Kamara has as well, but for the wide receiver group, Shaheed has a bunch of touchdowns, plus 260 for him tonight in Kansas City. I'm going to go there. And in terms of a little bit of a deeper shot, Chiefs need to get somebody else into the rotation. Justin Watson at plus 370, I'm going to go with. And I'm going to add you this on here. I mean, the Kamara number is very chalky, but Kamara has scored in every game, and he's been excellent. So I think Kamara will score 2 for New Orleans.
Yeah, I think Olave and Mahomes score as well.
Ooh, little Mahomes for you tonight. There you go. That's one that I like to hear. We'll see if we can get that one in the mix. So some tutties for the Chiefs and the Saints here this evening. We'll come back, and we need to start the college football Some huge upsets over the weekend. Big upsets.
It's all about the U, baby. What up, Kane?
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the what? Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
What a party in Smashville on Broadway for the Vandy students after they upset Alabama. I had Vandy in the 22.5, and I love nothing more than seeing them lose after that BS jump from them to number one after they blew that huge lead against Georgia, and they vaulted them to number one. Meanwhile, Texas and Ohio State both won big that weekend, and it wasn't good enough. They just love Alabama. And Georgia and Alabama get so much more juice than any teams in college football over the last 10, 20 years. It's just ridiculous. It really is. It's like the whole thing's rigged. And then they go and lose to Vanderbilt. Oh, my God. And they wake up number 7 today. They deserve it. It should have been worse. Well, they should have been like 9th for that loss.
They should have been. And just think about some of this stuff. And I know you saw the videos. I mean, they carried the goalpost down Broadway. They threw it in the river. I mean, they partied with that thing. And why not? Vanderbilt had lost all 60 games against the AP top 5 teams in their history. 60 times they had played teams in the top 5. They had never won a game. In fact, they hadn't beaten Alabama in 40 years. They had lost 23 in a row to them. That all changed on Saturday night as Diego Pavia outplayed Jalen Milroe and the Tide. Here it is, the final call on Vandy Radio, Scotty. Here we go.
Clock is at 32. Diego Pavia under center from the 27. He takes the snap.
That's going to do it.
Vanderbilt
biggest win in Vanderbilt history.
Is this real life? You bet. Vanderbilt beats Alabama for the first time in a generation. The greatest moment in Vanderbilt football history. Tonight at First Bank Stadium.
Oh, that was cheesy.
It was.
That was so cheesy. It was.
I
So,
needed
that was
more.
like high school. That was high school.
I wasn't letting him off the hook here. We needed a little bit more.
Imagine what Howie
there.
Rose would have called that. I mean, honestly, Howie Rose. Like, can you imagine that call? Like, no offense, I don't know the guy. I don't want to bum anyone out, but that was pretty weak.
Needed a little bit. The moment
more juice.
Needed
you gotta
a
freak
little,
out. It's the
little bit
greatest
more
win in the history of the program, and you're like,
right.
A big win tonight for the Commodores.
Like the color guy who was yelling over him, he had the stuff.
Oh,
he
was
like,
just a special night down here.
Biggest win, but that guy had nothing. Here is Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer. Of course, you talk about from the penthouse to the outhouse, beating Georgia the week before, then losing to Vanderbilt the following week. Coach, tell us what you thought.
You know, there's some things that we're going to look back on tomorrow and, you know, be really frustrated about. You don't like talking what ifs, and that's going to be the situation we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. But
you lost to
the guys in the locker room just talk about, you know, there is only one option. It's to move forward, to get back to work. I feel we got a great football team. We weren't at our best today, and you know, we're going to find out, you know, really, you know, how much we care about each other and what it looks like moving forward. So, you know,
you can't have this.
We've been tested in different ways, really, a lot of the games here this season, and this is a different type of test for us now in our response.
Listen, they should put a rule in. Those 12 people that got to sit there, the crack crab and lobster committee that come up with those college football playoff rankings later on this year, there should be a rule. You lose to Vandy, you're disqualified. You're not allowed. You can't be in the college football playoff if you lose to Vandy. That should be like a rule.
They'll be in the 12 as sure as I'm sitting here because they get everything. They get everything like that bullshack #1 ranking after they blew that lead against Georgia. Look, Georgia, I thought, deserved more credit than Alabama for winning that game. Georgia came back from down 30-7. That's like Miami coming back from 35-10. What's the difference? There is none. You don't deserve to be rewarded for blowing, you know, a gigantic lead like that, in my opinion. You leapfrogged two teams that both won big. It made no sense to me. And literally the abuse I got around here for it, too. I hope everyone just enjoys my ass in the window of my car right at your mother's face. How's that taste? Like, honestly, like, who's the B now? I called it. I was right, and I'm right again. And not only that, I had Vandy in 22. So my ass cheeks on the window of the car in the rain, in the fog. What is that? What is that? Is that some guy's ass? It's some guy's mooning me. It's Ferrall mooning me in the family station wagon. That's what I'm doing. Woo, Carver High.
Now,
Woo!
there were a lot of other big upsets this week that I'm going to get to you in a minute. But first, how about the one team that avoided the big upset? We spoke about it at the top of the show, and that was number 8 Miami, who beat Cal 39-38. They come back from 25 points down. Now, you knew I was going to get you a little Joe Z. Joe Zagacki, Canes Radio, WQAM in Miami, as they complete the comeback.
Watch this guy call a game.
Arroyo short motion. Snap. Handoff. No, he throws. Left side Arroyo. He lunges. He's got it. Touchdown. It's a touchdown. Miami has tied the game. A 5-yard touchdown to Arroyo with 26 seconds to go.
That's how you do it. And then he even said, after the game, he said his heart was going to explode out of his chest. Said it was one of the best wins he's ever seen in all his years at Miami. Title seasons, 5 national championships. He said it was one of the greatest games he's ever called. I love Joe Z. Oh,
Don Bailey, Joe Z, Don Bailey. They had
Joe Z. Oh, and Josh Darrow on the sidelines. The Canes out at Berkeley, ruining all of those smart kids' buzz. That was fantastic. I mean, honestly, 2 a.m, I'm out drinking rum. Shake out, ooh, shake out, ooh.
Here he is.
Baby.
Mario, big chest, Cristobal, proud of his team after the win.
Big chest.
The best way to sum it up, it's the best example of resiliency and toughness and just no quit mentality that I've ever been fortunate enough to be a part of. I mean, the game was 35-10 at one point, and all that you saw was guys saying, we're going to do this, because we can do it, and they did. And just kept clawing and scratching. The defense started, holding up, getting us the ball back, and, well, you guys saw the rest, so.
Yeah, we did. Do you see him afterwards? They gave him the ride in the clubhouse on the players, lifting him up in the clubhouse over their arms. This is a special team. They got gifted the Va Tech game, but they earned this one. Down 35-10, you win. Now that is how you should get vaulted in the standings. Now look, here's the deal. The rankings are such bullshit. They put Alabama, they leapfrog everyone to go to number 1. But Miami comes back from 35-10 down and they go up 2 spots. It's like they got a pregnant girlfriend or something. Like they're all fat asses. Like, it's unbelievable to me. You're down 35-10. I don't care who you're playing, on the road, in a conference game, 3,000 miles from home, and you're down 35-10 in the third quarter and you win the game. That's insanity. That's when you deserve to go up 4 or 5 spots.
Right. And look, as we always say, we talk about these rankings so much. It doesn't matter, because guess what? Whether the Canes are 1st, 5th, 10th, or 15th, if they win the ACC, they're going to get one of those 4 byes in the first round of that college football playoff. No matter where they're ranked, that's how it's going to go down. So the Canes halfway home for you, 6-0. They get a bye week, and then they go to Louisville next week, which will be a noon kickoff. That's October the 19th, week from Saturday, bye week for the Canes after 2 down-to-the-wire white knucklers. The Canes get a little break to settle down after a 6-0 start for the stretch run. All right, we'll come back, and I will go through all those other games. Double for Cleveland here, 1 out, man on second in the bottom of the 6th, so they get a double off of Scuba.
Let's see if they get him in.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start, so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the 1. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, God, the base hit to left. Is he going to score? are they going to get him? They stopped him at third. Quan got the hit on the 2-2. So they got runners on the corners with 1 out, and they're getting to Skubal here in the bottom of the 6th. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he just kind of slapped that to left, right? I mean, it was almost like a half swing, kind of just caught the barrel, and he slapped it in between the infielders. Quan's a great hitter. He really is. So first and third, 1 out, with I believe Fry coming up for the Guardians, and listen, you got Ramirez looming on deck then, right after him as you start to get into the teeth of that Guardian order. Nobody wants to do that. All right, there was a lot of upsets on Saturday aside from just Alabama, Scotty. Arkansas beat number 4 Tennessee 19-14. Gutless from Tennessee, who got honestly pushed around in that game. Awful job by them. They stormed the field too. I love these fines too. How sad is this? These two schools who never beat anyone, right? Arkansas and Vanderbilt never get a big win in their lives, and they got to send them a bill for storming the field. I mean, give me a break. They should fine Alabama and Georgia whenever they do it because they win all the time. Let Vandy and Arkansas have their moment in the sun. They got to send them a bill for storming the field.
Meanwhile, they're paying players $1 million a pop to play at the schools, but they're fining them $250,000 and $150,000 for just, going on the field and partying. Vandy should still be drunk.
They should. They might be. By the way, I'm sure that class attendance probably wasn't very high this morning on a Monday.
I hit the Hogs at 14 points, and not only that, I hit Washington laying the 1.5.
I was with you on Washington. Great win for them, 27-17. They beat Michigan in Seattle on Saturday night. How about Minnesota beating USC 24-17 with that play down at the goal line at the end? They get it done.
They got out of it.
Oh, let's go. Can we get this guy a run? Can somebody
he's mocking
just
the crowd. He's nodding at the crowd, giving him the business like this. He's like, how you like me now? He's giving him this.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, how you like me now?
Wow, how about that?
At him. Give me some. He's like, Boomy, go ahead.
Look at this. I like that little personality from Skubal. You don't know the guy very well. Looks like he's got a little bit of that in him. Yes.
By the way, USC season's over.
It is over. I don't disagree with you.
That's 2 Big Ten losses. They're not going to the playoff.
That's 2 Big Ten losses. They're finished. They're not going to go to any playoff. And I think you're starting to see, right? I think it's going to be very tough with this new Big Ten when these West Coast teams have to make these trips to these places they're not used to going. And I think it's the same when the old Big Ten guard makes the trips to Eugene and makes the trips to Seattle and makes the trips to, I think that's going to be tough for them as well. We saw Michigan lose, this week. We saw Michigan State lose in Eugene, even though they suck, but still. Texas A&M beat Missouri 41-10. Penn State beat UCLA. Didn't cover. 27-11. Cover for you with the Bruins. Nice job by SMU. Straight up winner at Louisville. Another cover, 34-27. How about Pitt? 5-0 for the first time since 1991. A 34-24 win over UNC. Ohio State with the cover against Iowa. Georgia, no cover. Auburn gets the cover, 31-13. The win there for Georgia. But Auburn was getting 22.5, 24.5, depending on when you got it. So nice job there. Ole Miss beat South Carolina 27-3. I forgot to put this in, but I don't know if you saw the clip of Lane Kiffin doing his post-game press conference, and he couldn't answer the questions because he was watching the end of the Alabama game. He was so excited Alabama was going to lose to Vanderbilt that he was just like, can you guys just hold on a second? This never happened.
He coached there.
Right. He coached.
He's rooting against him.
He was rooting against him. Well, look, he's at Ole Miss. Every Alabama loss is good for Ole Miss since they have a loss already. So it helps them out.
They got problems. They got their own problems. They got one more loss and they're out of it.
That's true. How about the Indiana Hoosiers? Let's
go. Fight.
They have been so good to me this year. Again, not only do they cover, the game flies over the 41.5. I mean, this guy Cignetti just keeping his foot on the gas every week for Indiana. I absolutely love it. Clemson beat Florida State 29-13. We talked about the kid on Boise State. They beat Utah State 62-30. And Iowa State beat Baylor, Scotty, as they were down early in that game, and then they kind of blew the doors off of them in the second half, and they took care of business. Here it is, your new top 25 for this week, with Alabama losing. A lot of teams in the top 11 lost. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and Georgia, your top 5. Miami's number 6. I'm going to tell you right now.
Miami's better than Penn State. They should be
I was
fourth.
just going to say that to you.
Penn State's overrated. They could barely beat I was going to drop a bomb there. A shaky UCLA team. To me, what the Canes did deserves a higher ranking than Penn State barely winning.
What they've done all year, body of work-wise, has been better than anything that Penn State's done. So I don't get that.
Right.
They love Penn State, and they love the Big Ten.
The AP poll is a disaster. Every week it's a disaster.
Correct. We will start to get into this more tomorrow, but you talk about a heavy hitter week in college football. Number 2, Ohio State at number 3, Oregon on Saturday night. Number 9, Ole Miss at number 13, LSU on Saturday night. Florida visits Tennessee. Cal visits Pitt, who's undefeated. Penn State's going to L.A. Now, we just talked about it. The old Big Ten team's going west. Will Penn State have a problem in Los Angeles against the Trojans?
So.
I hope so, too. Texas and Oklahoma. It sounds like Ewers is going to be back for Texas this week for the Red River Shootout. Huge games this week.
I'd start Manning.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I do a sliding DiVincenzo to the 1. Obviously, Terrence Jennings Jr., that is actually dynamic offensively and defensively. So we'll see how it works. I think it's a little bit of a work in progress. Do both teams win? Yes. I don't think at the end of the day, Minnesota could have afforded to keep Cat, Rudy, and Ant with that amount of money.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, leftovers. I told you Liberty and Lynx would be in the finals. It's going to be Lynx and Sun in a Game 5 in Minnesota, I think, tomorrow. So for all the marbles, I'd rather see Connecticut and the Liberty because they're from around here, obviously in New York City and in Connecticut. So, but I still think it's the Lynx. I think the Lynx will win at home on Tuesday night.
Yes, that will be tomorrow night at Game 5. The Sun won 92-82 to force that. The Liberty eliminated the Aces, and that is a deep drive. Did he get enough? Oh, he caught it at the warning track, Scotty.
The humanity.
Unbelievable. Elsewhere, hockey, by the way, starts for real tomorrow. I know that the Devils beat those Sabres in those 2 games. So tomorrow on Coast to Coast, 3 games, including, get this, you have afternoon hockey. It's a triple header. 4 o'clock East is the Seattle game. And then they'll raise the banner in Florida. Then they'll have the first game ever in Utah in the 3rd game. So a triple header to start the NHL.
Playing? Who are they playing?
St. Louis at 4. Very strange schedule.
Smoke Kraken.
Blues Kraken, 4 o'clock East starts a triple header of hockey to start the year. But Jeremy Swayman gets his deal in Boston before the season starts. 8 years, $66 million for him. Toronto puts Matt Murray on waivers. He stinks. Red Wings goalie Jack Campbell enters the NHLPA assistance program. So all the best to Jack.
Everyone needs
better
assistance.
Soon.
Everyone needs
Sometimes that is the case. Kevin Yu wins the Sanderson Farms, the chicken tournament on the PGA Tour. And hey, shout out now, me and Cam and Keith didn't have it on Coast to Coast last Wednesday, but our man here on the grid, Brady Cannon, did have Kevin Yu at like 120 to 1. So nice job by Brady. See, it's one of us is going to get it. Whether it's me, Brady, Cam, Keith, one of us is going to come through.
The Prime Minister.
With the golf.
Best
Somebody's going to do it.
In the planet right here on C2C.
I did have Tyrrell Hatton in the DP World Tour Dunhill Classic. So we did have him at 12 to 1 yesterday. So we did get a golf winner on Coast to Coast as well. Alex Pereira retains his title at UFC 307. He beat Roundtree in the 4th round.
Did you see that
his
guy's
third
face?
title defense. I did see that. If that's who Roundtree was when I saw the messed up face, then yes, I did see it.
That's him.
Not a good scene for him. Cut up. Earl Spence Jr. against Sebastian Fundora. Who? David Benavidez against David Morrell Jr. Pay-per-view doubleheader to take place in January. Tank Davis is going to fight Lamont Roach on December the 14th. Who
is that? Lamont Roach clip?
Lamont Roach clip. There you
Roach
go.
Would be a better
Freddie
fight
Roach.
for Tank Davis against Freddie Roach. Unbelievable. Ferrall finish. Floyd Mayweather accused in a wage dispute, a lawsuit of slapping an exotic stripper who raised pay issues with him. He allegedly cranked her. Georgia man guilty of cheating ex-NBA players, including Dwight Howard, out of $8 million. The Joker 2 flops at the box office. Horrible reviews. And all of the fans that saw the movie are also critics saying the movie absolutely sucks. Florida residents warned to leave as life-threatening Hurricane Milton strengthens to a Cat 4 storm. Of course, Carver High knows that Ferrall loves hurricane television. Also, war on TV, some of my favorite things to watch. California will allow eating, drinking, and smoking at Amsterdam-style cannabis cafes. They got the Amsterdam cafes going now in Cali. Everyone can start eating, drinking, and smoking. Fatties. Newsom allows it. Heaven forbid. Escort who live streamed her mother's murder on Facebook pleads insanity. Yeah, you're insane, all right. Broadcasting the murder of your mother, you moron. Meanwhile, she's an escort. She was making all kinds of cash, making love to strangers. MS-13 member Little Devil sentenced to 50-year stretch for luring 4 men to their machete deaths at a Long Island park. I did a murder trial in Orange County where they lured the chick and the boyfriend out of the house into a park and murdered both of them. Same kind of thing. The luring to the park machete deaths, Carver High. Unbelievable. Beloved Arizona teacher decapitated by felon's son, who was released from jail 24 hours earlier, the son of the year, decapitates the Arizona feature. Chops, it is not funny. This is not funny at all. GTD is next. Go to BerrellOnEvents.com. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. A coast-to-coast Obama.